code pulled up here, or your code. What am I saying? Your form pulled up here. Okay, let's do this here. So, oh wow, you're a hit scan player. Nice, nice. Okay, well, welcome. Hope you've been doing well. Sorry for the little bit of a late start there, but we had to shuffle things around. But all right, well, what got you interested in coaching?
Well, I'm on the Overwatch team at my college, and
Mm-hmm.
our tank player advised that me and the other DPS get a coaching session from you. So
Sure. Okay.
now I'm
Well,
here.
welcome. All right. Well, welcome. Good to see you. See, it's on St. Ambrose. Okay. It's cool. Oh, you're with Red Knight. I will try not to hold that against you. Okay. Yeah. The Junker Queen abusers, I just can't do it. Okay. Well, let's see here. Silver, Soldier Bastion, Widow Cassidy. Okay. So how long have you been playing Overwatch?
I've been playing a long time. Technically, I've played since 2016. Most of my time has been on console.
Yep.
But I've never taken the game seriously. It's always been fun.
Right.
Up until I got on this team.
So you're saying it's now serious, or it's now not fun?
I take it more seriously. I still try and have fun with the game.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense. All right. Well, fair enough. And then I guess what the DPS is definitely, rather defined. Full hit scan. Why?
Just for the sake of roles on the team.
Sure.
So Red kind of advised me and the other DPS player to kind of just stick to harder definition.
Yeah.
Like the roles that we're playing, because we're we're silver, so it's easier to get our heads wrapped around like just a flex and just a hit scan.
Yeah. So. And you enjoy the characters that you play?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. What's your favorite character? If you could play, like, let's say, ignoring St. Ambrose, if you could play like 2 or 3 characters and be like GM level, if you just like snap your fingers, what would they be?
If I was GM level on any probably Soldier.
Okay.
And
any role, by the way.
Oh, any role?
Any role.
I would love to be a great Doomfist. Big fan of Zebra. So.
All right, so Doomfist, Soldier, throw one more in there.
I'll do a support. I really would love to be good at Zenyatta. I think good Zen play is really fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. Give me one more DPS besides Soldier.
I think Ashe.
Sure. Okay, so you do like the hit scan characters, but I noticed that Ashe wasn't really on your list of heroes that you play in ranked, though. Why?
Yeah. So that form was a while ago, and we kind of switched around hero pools.
Okay.
So I think right now my hero pool is more accurately like Soldier, Bastion, Ashe, and it's kind of just those 3.
Sure. Okay. I mean, as long as you're playing characters that you enjoy, like obviously, like you have a role to fill within the team too. But I think even within a team environment, there is a lot of room for flexibility, right? To kind of play to the character. Even in Overwatch League, right? They lean more into their strengths and don't necessarily always hard lock meta. So you have your own flavors of ways interpreting it. So as long as that's how it works. So you play about an hour of Overwatch per day. Okay. So how is that time spent?
I'd say a lot of it's just in ranked. There are days where I don't warm up, which is not a great habit that I have, but
sure.
Sure.
How often do you guys scrimmage?
We try and scrim. Oh god, it's been really inconsistent. 3 times a week.
Yeah.
That the goal is 3 times a week, as per Red hollering at me. Yeah, it's the scrims have been a little rough, so I'd say recently we scrim about 2 times a week.
Okay, that's still pretty good though. It's like 4 hours, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And then ranked, I interrupted you. You were talking about your rank schedule.
Like, do I have one, or?
Yeah, like how often do you play? You said about an hour per day, but how does that obviously break down on non-scrim days?
Yeah, that is averaged out over the week. So I definitely have heavier days. So I have on Tuesday and Thursday I have an hour scheduled. One, so I actually would be playing ranked right now if I didn't have this.
Sure.
And then Saturday's kind of my main day for ranked. So I have an hour from 1 to 2, and then I have 3 hours from 3 to 6. And I'm taking like I'm taking like small breaks and stuff in there. It's not
Yeah, good, good,
you know
good.
3 hours
Good,
straight.
good. I would recommend a warm up for you though. So I guess my question is that there's always a reason why people don't warm up. For me personally, I just found it unbelievably boring. So what my goal was is like I had to spend some time finding out like what warm up I enjoyed the most, and then once I started playing like a lot of deathmatch, sometimes I actually warmed up too long just because I was having too much fun. So I guess for you is it's like why don't you warm up at least consistently?
I think I agree with you on the warm up thing. Actually, I find it really boring.
Okay.
What I usually tried to do when I did warm up is I just threw on music, cranked it up and tried to
Yeah.
just kind of zone out.
Sure.
But then it feels like that kind of takes away from the whole warming up thing. So
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because what is the purpose of the warm up?
for me, it's just get my hands moving.
Right. So why does it care what your ears do?
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So I think you're overthinking it just a little bit. I'm also curious what you actually did for a warm up. Maybe it changed, but like what have you done in the past?
So if I did a full like warm up routine, I would do like 5 minutes of aim labs. I did like
Hmm.
I had a tracking thing that I did, and I did like a grid shot or two,
Yep.
and then I would
Yep.
switch to a warm up code that I have in Overwatch.
What you got?
Let me find it.
Perfect.
Do you want the actual code or
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Send me the code.
I've never actually sent a code to anybody. I got this from my teammate, so
Sure. So naturally it'll be terrible.
share code. Okay, I think this is it. I will. There you go.
Okay.
So
Give
it's
this a
just
check here.
you're in the big box, and there's people running around.
Let's check this out. Workshop Chamber. All right. The world's most boring map.
Yep.
Oh, this is just Vaxta.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. All right, we're ready for the sleep dart. For the sleep dart, watch this. Ready?
That's it.
Oh, she baited me. She jumped at it. Okay. Anyway, yeah, this is okay, but it's quite boring. Quite boring, right? So, have you done the? Wait, how do I? Have you done the challenge mode on this?
Actually,
Here,
I
let me-
forgot there was a challenge mode.
Yeah. That makes things a little bit more saucy. I'm terrible at it, and it's definitely there's some characters that are better than other characters. But like, let's say if we go soldier here, you could go start challenge, right? And then you're just like, all right, how fast can you kill people? And then you just kill people, and then basically as you get better. Oh, geez, this is embarrassing. Like as you get better, then you start to do more and more. See how far you can go. That can be useful as well. But here's what I would recommend. I would also have you played much deathmatch before? The stuff.
I've done a little bit.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Try it. Try it more.
Okay.
Try it more and see if it's more interesting than the warm up that you're currently doing. How long have you been playing PC since the console transition?
Oh boy. Actually, I'm not sure.
Approximately this year, last year, 2 years.
Approximately like 2 years, like 2.5 years ago.
So to be honest with you, I don't even know that if you necessarily need to aim labs anymore.
Okay.
Because aim labs would be like your first transition into PC. You're kind of getting comfortable with the mouse, so just like getting comfortable with the basic mechanics. Do you know what your eDPI is? Do you know what your mouse DPI is?
I have a sensitivity calculator that I use like all the time. I mean,
Okay. Do you know what your sensitivity is then, approximately? Like obviously in game we know, but
it's 3.5 at 800.
So. That's fine then. So yeah, your sensitivity is fine. I'm sure. Is your mouse pad space enough?
Yes.
Okay, so then you just need to reps. You just need to rep. And then that's going to come from deathmatch. That's going to come from the code that I just showed you. And honestly, unless you really enjoy aim labs, I wouldn't play it anymore.
Okay.
I wouldn't play it anymore. It's a waste of time. I would spend more time in either unranked deathmatch, or if you're feeling really, really saucy, see if there's an lobby. You see this?
Mm-hmm.
This is where boys become men, so to speak. because you're going to be a silver player playing up against masters and grandmaster and diamond players with instant respawn, and you're going to have a nice, lovely time. And the reason why I like this better is because a lot of the cringe heroes are removed, and there's also a lot more higher ranked players in this because it's not MMR based.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling patient, you could try here. Otherwise, it might be a little bit tilting, but it's definitely worth a shot. Okay, does all this make sense?
Yeah.
Now, in terms of how long I would warm up, I would say 10 minutes is like what I would say is like the median for most people. However, 15, 5, 20. If you feel like aim training for 30 minutes, that's fine too. However you want to do it, toy with it, experiment with it, then roll with it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But that's mostly up to you, however you want to interpret that. Okay, let's keep going through form. Any questions so far?
None so far.
Okay, ranked practice important. I would try to focus on the characters that you play in scrims and ranked. Soldier, Ash, Bastion, mostly. Try to avoid swapping off of those characters, and especially because you're only playing around an hour, hour and a half per day on average. I would really, really, really love it if you could even make that down to 2 characters that you play mostly. Okay. Just to be like, you really want to be able to not only improve your aim with those characters, but like get better with the way their cooldowns, how they position, the thought processes, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Long-term, short-term goals. Long-term, identify my own mistakes and be able to work through them with a positive mindset. Ha, love it. Short-term, hold your own on a collegiate team. Well, the short one is garbage, respectfully. Okay. Because what does holding your own mean?
That's a great question.
You know what I'm saying? Because let me ask a question. Red, who's the highest ranked player in your team? Is it Red?
It's Swaggy Fish.
Okay, Swaggy Fish. What rank?
He's right next to me. I can ask him. He's in a game, actually. Never mind.
That's fine. Doesn't matter. Grandmaster-ish. Masters? Okay.
He's like medium, mid.
What does holding my own mean for him?
For him, probably, I would guess carrying, but
right.
I have no idea.
But do you think that he fumbles and makes mistakes and chokes fights too?
Yes.
Obviously, right? So is he holding his own consistently? You kind of see what I'm saying? You kind of see what I'm saying? But there's moments when he's not holding his own. So like it's equivalent of like, I want to be successful. Well, be specific, right? So for you, it's like, I know I'm being nitpicky for the sake of being nitpicky, but I don't, but what I don't want you to think is that like, oh, I'm the dead weight in the team. And so I need to try to not be the dead weight in the team, because there's always a bigger fish. You know, if you get to gold, you're still going to be the dead weight in the team. You get to plat, you're still going to be the dead weight in the team. And all of a sudden, one of these days, it maybe like you end up hard grinding, and maybe you end up like really figuring it out, and you're like, oh, I'm like masters. Well, you're still going to be costing your team fights. So for me, for the short-term goal for you to be to just improve with the amount of time that you have to spend in the game, and to actually enjoy that process as well. Okay. Just see what happens. Don't try to feel like I need to be holding my own. Like, no, you might not. You might. Doesn't matter. Just play the game. Improve. Don't put as much pressure on yourself with that. Now, the interesting point off of that is when we actually ask in the forum, what do you feel is holding you back from making that improvement? You actually say mental. And what do you mean by that? What mental specifically?
It's really weird. Can I talk about it for a second?
Sure.
Like a little bit at length. So
yeah, please.
So my mental, I would say, kind of, it fits into 2 categories, and it depends on what I'm doing. So if I'm in ranked, it's actually, I guess it would be easier to explain the other one. So when I'm playing with the team, like in a scrim or whatever, we scrim a little higher than our average. So we scrim like diamond teams fairly regularly, and we win some of them. And like I do pretty well on some of the maps. Like I've finished one map.
You're about to say some stats, aren't you?
Yeah, but it's like it's good stats, you know. And everybody was like really happy with how I played, and I did very well. So then I transfer over to ranked, and then I'll lose. Obviously, you know, you always lose. Well, not always. You get what I'm saying. And I'm like, why am I losing? I'm in silver. This should be so easy. I just played against, you know, diamonds. Why am I doing this? I must be trash. And that's the entire like premise of what I would say is wrong with my mental. It's
I have good news for you. The answer is so absurdly simple.
okay.
Get ready for this. Now, there's a couple of ways to look at it, right? One of the things is the reason why you're doing well is the fact that you're a good communicator or you're a good listener. So when you're listening or communicating with your team, you're able to provide value that's not as common in ranked. That communication, that listening, that just isn't as important in ranked, right? Not that it's a all for yourself. You do have to play around your team, but there's not as much verbal stuff going on, right?
Yeah.
You have to kind of use your eyeballs more and think a little bit more. All right. So that's something maybe that you've gotten really good at listening to Red Knight. And so because you're so good at that, you're actually able to provide value. Whereas in ranked, it's a little bit harder. But the more common, more consistent solution is that when you're playing a diamond team and Red Knight and is he say Moving Fish? What was the
Swaggy Fish.
Swaggy Fish. Okay. So Swaggy Fish. What roles does Swaggy Fish play?
He plays flex support.
Okay. Flex support. So if I'm playing into Red Knight on Winston and Swaggy Fish on Ana, and I'm a poor diamond sap, let's say I'm on DPS, say I'm on Ashe, and a Masters Winston and a Masters Ana nade dive me, right? How much pressure am I under at that point in time?
A lot.
A lot of pressure, more so than I quote unquote should in ranked. I'm playing versus a support in a tank that's like way above my skill grade. So do you think that at that point in time, my first concern is going to be, oh, I wonder how their Silver Soldier 76 is doing?
Probably not.
No. And in addition to that, when that Diamond Winston dives you and you're playing with a Master support player, do you think that Master support player is going to have a better time keeping you up than a Diamond support player or a Silver support player?
Probably.
Right. So you kind of see what I'm saying, is you're benefiting from your teammates being better than the enemy team, and either through their ability to support you, either directly through healing, or through just the raw damage. Like if I'm playing Zenyatta on your team and I'm a Masters player and I'm hitting like way more shots than a Silver Zenyatta, I'm putting so much pressure on their tank that he's not going to be able to give you as much attention as he would like. Does that make sense? So you're benefiting from their skill, not necessarily through, I can get healing from them and peel from them, but that they do so much damage that the enemy team doesn't care about me. And because they don't care about you, you're allowed to just do this. Da, 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 da. You're not under pressure. You see, the measure of skill isn't just what you're able to do when you're under no pressure, because anybody can perform well in that. It's what do you do while you're under pressure. And when you're working with Silver supports, I can't support you as well. And Silver tanks and Silver DPS and Silver that are under a lot less pressure from the Master teammates, you are going to get a lot more attention. And that's where your true colors are exposed. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like you're benefiting from it and you might not even realize it. It's like, let's think of it this way. Have you ever played with like a Genji player that was getting like Mercy Pocket and Nano Boost like literally off of cooldown? And then that Genji player says, right, and that Genji player goes, yo, guys, I killed 2 people. Why didn't we win? And you sit there and you go, well, duh, because you're getting everything. You're getting, that's basically where you're in scrims right now, where you're not getting necessarily all the resources, but you're benefiting from being carried. And you don't even realize it yet.
It's actually kind of funny. So our brawl comp right now that we're running is, let's see if I can remember it. So it's Queen, Bastion, Mei, and then a BAP and a Lucio. And the entire comp ends up revolving around, like, me. So it's weird to think about how I kind of end up being the focus of the comp, but I can definitely see what you mean.
You're able to fill, and the thing is as well is it's like you might be a gold player in scrims. Right? We've talked about how if you're a good, like if you, for example, do you communicate in that comp? Like, do you like kind of like make calls or like call timings or anything like that?
Yeah, like whenever I use form, I'm the main target caller.
Which is a really important call to make, right? And it sounds like that's something that you do pretty well, right? So is that something that you're able to do in ranked?
Not.
So
really.
do you see how you've already lost value in ranked?
Yeah.
Are you good because your CD usage is good with Bastion necessarily, or you're really good with nades, or you're really good with your ultimates, or your aim is amazing, or your positioning is amazing? Maybe, maybe not. But at least part of that value comes from that communication that doesn't really present itself in ranked. So you might be a gold ranked or a silver ranked player and a gold scrims player.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense? Now,
Yeah.
I've worked with a lot of people, and I've very rarely seen a player that's more than like a rank difference in between their scrims and ranked value, right? Like there are no players in the Overwatch League that are not top 500, right? There,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you will find players that, especially players that are really communicative, that or really smart with planning, that provide extra value than the rank, and that might be you. So what I would do is I wouldn't think of it as like, oh, I can't carry with my silver teammates. For you, would be like more along the lines of what value could I be practicing in ranked? What skills can I be practicing in ranked that will carry over to scrims? For example, if you practice your mechanics, is that going to carry over to scrims?
Yeah.
If you practice your CD usage and your positioning, is that going to carry over to scrims?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like for you, it's like don't worry as much about like, oh, I can't practice these skills that I have in ranked, or I can't bring my communication to the table in ranked. Just treat ranked as your training ground to develop your mechanical and your CD usages so that when you go into scrims, you'll be even better because not only you'll be communicating well, you'll also be playing well. Does that make sense?
That exact thing from Red Knight, so absolutely it makes sense.
It's really important. It's really important because the thing is that when you're in a scrim environment, there's like a lot of thinking that's happening, right? Ranked, you could just focus on you and you alone. Like upgrade your skill set so that when you go into the game, you're going to be that much better. Does all that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions about that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. You're a silver player, sadly.
Yes.
You're a silver player that has a great communication, teamwork background that is not applicable in ranked, but it doesn't matter. You're valuable as it is to your team right now. You're doing a great job. So work on developing your value more by developing other skills in ranked. Ranked is a side project. Ranked is not the game that actually matters. Ranked is would you go home and practice on your own time.
Yes.
Okay. 7 hours for sleep per night. College moment. It could always be a little bit more, 7.5, especially when you're playing hit scan, very mechanically demanding role. Any amount of sleep helps with the reaction time and your ability to learn and all that kind of stuff as well. So I don't really have any other things from your form that stand out to me. Do you have any other questions for me?
No. I think I'm good.
Okay. You want to look at some gameplay?
Yes. Let me grab the code.
Sure.
Oh, did you want to show me something else first?
Nope.
Or?
Nope. We're good to go.
Okay.
Go.
1 second.
Sure.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Right.
Ready for battle.
I'm going to ask you who you are, but I think I have a guess.
Probably.
Probably Mad Goomba would be my guess. And Soldier all the way through. Lovely. Okay. So have there been anything recently that you've been practicing with Soldier?
I've been trying to focus on keeping consistent pressure and making sure that I'm pressuring the right targets. So target prio.
What's good target? What target specifically?
Right now, I'm just at the point of like, okay, if it's just a tank, then shoot the tank. If there's a squishy available, shoot the squishy. If it's like a DPS and a support, shoot the support.
Sure. Sure.
And if it's like 2 supports and it's like a Lucio and an Ana, I'm gonna shoot the Ana.
Sure. Sure.
So
why the Ana over the Lucio?
Ana has some very powerful CDs. Lucio does too, but Ana's also not very mobile. And especially if the 2 supports are more split, so Lucio couldn't help the Ana, Ana's more vulnerable. So it'd be more likely that I would either force her out, kill her, or force a bunch of CDs and stuff like that.
Yep. I think the idea is just to shoot who is you're most likely to kill. Right? Like you might even shoot a Widowmaker over a support just because if the Widowmaker is close, let's say, right, she's positioned wrong, then you could instantly kill her, right? Whereas like you might even shoot a Lucio over an Ana if the Ana's literally all the way under spawn and the Lucio is right here. Depends on how aggressively they're playing. Okay. Yeah. So target prio, constant pressure. Anything else? Those are good.
I'm also just trying to keep like off angles good.
Okay.
That was kind of the first thing that I worked on when I started out on the team. So trying to maintain it.
Okay, sounds good. So it sounds like you have at least a decent idea of how to play the soldier, at least in theory. So what we'll do is we'll see where your understanding, at least the start of your understanding, and the execution, where's the split, right? You know to do these things, but you're not consistent doing them. And we'll see where we go from there. Okay. Any questions come up, I want you to just let me know.
Okay.
Nice Helix. Nice. Now, there's one thing that you have to be cautious of. I want you to look and tell me what's wrong with your positioning right here. Think about your character. Think about the situation. What do you think?
I'm pretty vulnerable
Why?
because I have mobility with sprint, but I'm gonna have to run through their entire team or run above and hope they don't look at me. So, yeah,
Do you see how close you are?
that too.
Do you need to be this close?
No.
Where could you be instead? Tricky, isn't it?
That staircase off to the right.
Okay. Maybe if we'd seen them rotating under, we could go to run to here. Maybe?
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
That's a good spot. I mean, I can see 3 if I move forward a little bit.
Do you see how you immediately feel less vulnerable just by creating a little bit more distance between yourself and these guys?
Mm-hmm.
You're technically still vulnerable. You're technically still isolated, but it's a lot harder for them to get to you.
Yeah.
Which means not only could you have more of a chance to get away if they do come after you, but you're also able to do more damage because you're able to relax a little bit more. So, something to consider. Something to consider. Because I like the off angle here, but this off angle feels a little bit too close, a little bit too scary. Mm-hmm. So we'll consider that. And that's also where your mobility is really, really important. Not just to run away, but also you're here. They're rotating under. Guess what? You're a fast guy. You could get here really quick, right?
Yeah.
And utilize that new angle. Okay, let's keep going. Nice. Could have finished that off with a Helix as she was going around the corner. So like that's the nice thing about the Helix splash, right? Is that like right here, launch it right there, she's dead.
Yep.
Right? Finish with that Helix. Nice. Ah! Nice. Nice. Good job on the reposition. Love to see it. Now, you have to be careful here because based off of our previous conversation, what's scary about this right here?
I'm very, very close to the Junkrat.
Right. So, what do you think? Where could you be instead? Because I like the high ground, right? I think we're pushing forward at some point, maybe. But what do you think?
I could have stayed. Actually, I could have gone up the stairs on the back of the point, right there.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more passive, but I mean it's safer.
And you got a nice range, right? You got a nice angle. And then if you see the opportunity to push forward, you can do it. I don't think this is bad. There's a really nice combo there, but just need to be careful. Okay. Nice job. We continue. Use that Helix. Ah, it's too high. Good. Okay. Ha! Good. Almost.
Very close.
Yeah, very, very, very close. Good. Now, this feels a little bit better than last time. Why? I mean, it's still pretty aggressive, but still feels better. Why?
They're a little bit more pushed up.
Yeah, they're a little bit further away. So you got a little bit more distance here. Okay, what's the matter here? What's the matter? We jinxed you. We shouldn't have said anything about how safe you were. What's the problem?
Well, the Genji's on me, and I ran kind of into their team.
Right. So I want you to coach yourself here. Could you have positioned better? Where should you have gone? When should you have gone? What do you think?
Probably as soon as the Genji gets on me, I should run out and to the right because I think there's some cover there. If I'm not
maybe,
wrong.
yeah. Maybe could have run this way. You know, maybe could have run back. I mean, honestly, maybe even here. Maybe this is a little bit hindsighty, but maybe obviously this here, maybe we should just run back here and consider this angle here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if they've completed the rotation, maybe we rotate all the way back here too, right? Yeah, I think there's options here. Okay, let's keep going. But so far, I do like the angles, right? I like you doing this stuff. Oh, that's unfortunate. Nice. One thing I've noticed a little bit with your mechanics, I want you to watch carefully here. Right on this reload, watch. You see how many of your shots are missing and spreading around the target? Do you understand how his weapon spread works?
Not really.
Okay, let's pull you into the training range. Now, I'm going to be off in the numbers here, and this is going to be your little bit of a homework project, okay? Where I want you to look up the actual numbers here, because I think it will be helpful. I want you to look at the spray in the wall here, okay? You see my crosshair?
Yeah, it's going straight up.
Now, in addition to that, even if I pull down, right? There's a little bit of randomness to the spread a little bit. Just a little bit. Now, I'm not sure exactly how random the spread is, but it's a factor that you need to consider. So when you look at your shots, one of the things that a lot of good soldiers do is they'll utilize what I'll call either trigger discipline, you can call it clip control. I don't really care what you call it. You can call it, Barney the dinosaur, whatever you want to call it. But the idea is that basically at these really long ranges, I'm not just like mashing down, right? Because in reality, I'm not gonna be able to do what I just did consistently.
Yeah.
You see, I'm kind of pausing, doing this kind of like, right?
Yeah.
That's what I want you to do.
Okay.
Right there. I actually would check because I'm actually not certain that soldiers spread is a big issue. I think it's more to do with the kickback that you need to manage. I think it's more of the kickback that you need to manage. And again, like I said, I'm not sure on the details, but that's not my job. That's your job. Okay. So go look into that so that in those situations where it's really important that you secure the kill, which to be fair, you did, you're able to make sure that you're able to do it. Just basically, oh my goodness, because you're able to control that crosshair a little bit better. Also, use the helix. Use the helix. If people are standing out in the open, use the helix. Like right here, use it. And also at the heal station too, right? Yeah. But that's okay. I actually think your mechanics are not too shabby.
I've played a lot of PC games, so.
Yeah. It's definitely, I would say, one of your strong points. Sure. But do you see how so much of your shooting is just mash down the button? Yeah. Even when he's behind a corner, even when you could have conserved some ammo, maybe done a reload, maybe realigned your crosshair at head height, you're just holding down the mouse button the entire time. Use that helix. Use it right now. You see it?
Yep.
I mean, I cannot tell you how close you came to missing that kill. Like, you almost missed the splash damage on the helix because you just were a little bit slow. What I like to do with helix is use it for a finishing blow when they're ducking behind a corner. But if they can't duck behind a corner, there's no reason not to use it immediately.
Okay.
So, like, look at this engagement here. Actually, let's go back even a little bit further because I think this would be a bit of a better demonstration, right? So right here, where is their cover for this Junkrat right here?
Either the small room on the left or underneath the balcony on the right.
Sure. How quickly can he get there?
Not very quickly at all.
Not quick enough. Use the helix right now. You use the helix right now. Because that's kind of the situation. Is like if they can't get behind cover, there's no real reason to save it. Now, I know somebody in the comments will be like, well, actually, you could use the helix and then the Ana will use her burst heal and heal. Yes. But it's such a low cooldown. The more that you save it, the fewer times you're going to actually use it in the fight. If you use your helix now and then shoot, reload, shoot, you'll have your helix again. You'll have multiple helixes in an engagement, whereas now you didn't even get a chance to use it once. So just keep that in mind. This one, for example, though, it might be okay to save helix for like right now to finish the kill. But the irony here is that you're still so far behind with like your helix management that you actually almost missed this opportunity because you did it so late.
Yeah.
You really want to clip people, right? But that's not something that soldiers should always have to worry about. You do too much damage to that helix to pass it up. This is okay. Obviously. Well, okay. Let's go back a little bit here. So you're like, I want to do DPS at an angle. I finish up the soldier or the Junkrat. I'm gonna take an angle on this tank. Honestly, it's fine. It's really fine. I think hindsight here, you know, you could have gone back over here and shot from this high ground here, but I think you're running away from Nanoblade. You thought that you get an angle on the squishies. It ended up not happening. Here's what I'll say. I like your ideas. I like the idea. It's unfortunate. And now you're like, ah, crap, I can't see anything. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. That's all right. Maybe retake that high ground here if you have time. Ah! Oh, you do not know how close he got. Look how close he got. Oh my gosh, you guys!
I actually thought I landed on the Mega.
Oh,
I died.
That's okay. That's okay. Now, here's a good question for you. Why were they allowed? Why did this work for them?
Because I took too long to reposition.
Yes, yes. And what is going on in the battlefield right now?
The tank and a support are taking a fight.
I mean, not even, really?
You
see this?
They're going to take a fight in a second.
Right. So then they're allowed to focus you because where's the rest of your team besides your Orisa?
Back in spawn.
Right. So there's nothing really going on. Right, yeah. Right. So what's going to happen here, I hope, is that, you know, your Orisa and your team's going to be able to push up and capitalize off of this. But this is why, like, when you're taking an angle or a flank, you really got to know what's going on with the rest of your team. Because if you're in this situation right here and you're like, oh shoot, my team isn't spawn, honestly, I would just be totally freaking hiding, dude. I would not be interested in fighting at all. Like, you need to wait until your team is actually there before this is actually going to work. But yeah, it's a little bit unlucky. Maybe your team can capitalize off of it. Maybe. Ah, tragically, no. Okay. Let it rip.
Yep.
Good. Got a little bit of a distance. Didn't really have time to take a sick off angle or anything, but that's okay. Now you have time now, though, right? Where could you go?
I think what I actually do is I run up the stairs onto the bridge.
Which side, left or right?
Right.
Works for me.
I run right.
Yeah, nice. The reason why high ground is good for soldier, well, you tell me, why is it good for soldier?
I mean, I think it's easier to shoot down at people, and it also gives me natural cover. Yep,
natural cover. Vision, how much easier it is to see here. In addition, Pythagorean theorem, right? How close are you to this Baptiste? Medium.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're on the floor, directly at your feet, how close would you be to this Baptiste? You see this?
Way closer, yeah.
Way closer, right? It's the angle extends the distance, which, as we already said, most of the time, unless you're playing versus like a Widowmaker, you want to be further away. Nice visor. Nice. A great position means a great visor. That's how it works. That was really well done. Okay. Oh. I shouldn't have skipped. By the way, check this out with your clip control trigger discipline.
Yep.
Just and no helix. Where's my helix? You actually got her low. Your aim was good. Where was the helix? Right? Where was the helix? Use it. She might have died. Look at her HP. She's still dead. She's still helixable. You know? That's crazy. Yep. Nice. Your aim really, truly is not a problem. Also, why did you wait so long to helix here? Why should you have helixed earlier here?
Lets me get damage quicker, and they're also closer together. I think they spread out a little bit.
Is there cover enough cover for them to duck behind a wall before they die?
No.
No, they just helix right away. You don't need the helix for finisher if they're staying. Nice, 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 nice. Nice. Now, is that mechanics or clip control?
The kill on the honor or this tank?
This tank.
This is, I would say this is mechanics, because it's a giant target and I just kind of missed.
I would say it's both, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Why clip control is so important is when you see the feedback that's saying, hey, jackass, you're missing the target. This is actually crazy. Then you force yourself to stop, realign your crosshair, and shoot again.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Clip control trigger discipline is one of the best things you can do to actually improve your mechanics because it forces you to not just like turn your brain off. This is insane. I have never seen anything like this in Overwatch, and I've been coaching this game for 5 or 6 years.
Actually, Swaggy Fish was sitting right next to me when I did this, and he was like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude?"
I have never. The funny thing is it's at least a little bit of bad luck too, because you actually put your crosshair on him, but the spread screws you over at like the perfect time. Look at this. Like that bullet surely hits, right? No, it spreads out too far to the left. It's too far to the right. I have never seen anything like this in my life. That's crazy. That's actually insane.
Yeah.
That's the funniest thing.
Yeah, we had a good laugh about that one.
And we've already seen your mechanics are not even that bad either. What?
I don't know. This guy had to be mad or something.
Right. Genji players, I think. And he goes Sebastian. All right. A little slow in the helix again. You know, that junk was one-shottable. Because that's the thing you gotta understand. It's 120 damage. You do not have to wait for them to be half HP to helix. If you hit like 2 headshots, helix. In fact, actually, maybe it is actually 2 headshots. I'll have to check later. But I think 2 headshots and they're helixable. If you hit a direct. Nice position. Nice aim. Shoot, 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 shoot. Yeah! You missed your helix, but you at least tried to do it. That's good. Sneaky, sneaky. Ah! Oh, dude, you almost nailed it. You almost nailed it. Look at how close it was to like the greatest play of all time. Watch. So first off, this guy's totally dead. And then second off, you helix just a little bit further. You kill him and you kill the tire. Oh, that would have been such a chat play.
So sick.
That would have been sick. All right, let's see what we got here. Like the angle. It's a little close. But, I mean, this fight's pretty much lost either way. I think this fight's just lost. Maybe get away. Maybe. Whoa! Run, 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 run.
I think I just try and run here. Yep.
Run. Ah! No, you stopped. Okay. By the way, any questions so far? We've talked about a lot of things. I just want to make sure.
Nah, I think I'm getting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really like some of the positions that you take here. I think like it shows that you've been practicing it. Ah, this clip stuff, man. You see it? It's like your finger touches the button. It's like it just gets taped on. You're just wah, you know? What do you think?
I mean, I think it's decent.
I think so too.
That Bastion can differ on the corner, which he does.
But it's still a good value, yeah? One little detail. Do you know the animation cancel with your ultimate?
I don't.
So in a situation where you're very certain that you're going to take damage, which I'm very certain you're going to take damage, you can EQ. Let me show you. And I love it now because I can actually demonstrate this because the practice range has instant ultimates now. So, so let me show you what I got here. This is a lot of little tips for the soldier, but I think this is probably one of the more useful ones. So check this out, right? I can, right? That's fine. But an even better thing to do, if I can actually get this right. Wait, I almost got it. an even better thing to do is check this animation cancel out. I'm going to go EQ. You ready?
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, pretty useful to know. It doesn't mean you don't do it every time, because sometimes you're like, I don't think I'm going to take any damage here, so I don't want to waste my ability. But obviously there, pretty certain you're going to take damage. So pop in the EQ there. It's one of those animation cancels that you're going to use for your entire soldier career. So you might as well learn it now. I could not find the code. There you go. All right, let's continue here. That being said, nice visor. Really like the position. It might not feel like I got a 7K, you know, but you force a lot of CDs. You force a really nasty split. You force some really, you get a lot of good damage. I think the Ram might die here. And obviously your positioning as a whole is really good too. Oh, I jinxed you. I jinxed you. Also, Helix. Check it.
Yeah.
That Junkrat should be dead.
Yep.
Helix. Because you could chip off his armor real fast, right?
Yeah.
And that way you actually do a lot more damage. Ah, crap.
This is very
too close. Hey, let's go. You actually did it. Look.
Yeah.
The cool guys never look at explosions. You did it again! This positioning is terrible. I mean, it's unfortunate because he fell off, you know? But like, look, you're actually getting the combo right. Nice. The funny thing is you could actually have even used the Helix earlier. Check this out. Wait, what am I going for there? Like, you could have used it literally like a half a second ago earlier. You could 120 damage, remember? So like, you know, guaranteed direct hit. So yeah, it's good. That's great. I mean, you like literally just deadlifted this fight. Totally deadlifted this fight. Nicely done. And I assume you guys hold. Okay. Any questions so far again?
Nope.
So what are you seeing so far? What needs to be practiced? Well, let's start with this. What are you doing really well?
I think my positioning is pretty darn good.
I think your positioning is pretty darn good too. It's not consistent. Sometimes you're too close. Sometimes too close. That's the main problem with your positioning. Is I like the angles. I like a lot of the high ground that you're taking. I like the timing you're taking the angles. You're just too close. You're too close too frequently. All right. What else are you doing well?
I like my target prio in this game.
I like your target prio as well. I like your mechanics. Right. Your raw aim, I would say, is better than your rank. Right. What do we not like so much?
Helix Rocket.
Yeah. What about it needs to improve?
I need to use it earlier.
Well, maybe.
Well, sometimes I need to use it earlier.
In what circumstances?
When there's like very limited cover.
Yeah.
And they're just going to be standing out in the open.
Exactly. Just use it. Exactly. And I would agree in general, you just need to use it more. There's been a lot of circumstances regardless where you go like 7, 8, 9 seconds shooting and you don't even use your Helix at once. Right. Yeah. So for sure. Okay. What else are you doing poorly?
Probably, I don't know. I think some of this stuff might be flying over my head, but the main thing I got out of it is Helix.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's been the most important one. I also think that you're just mashing down your mouse one button, which is leading to your mechanics being messy at times. Ramatra being a great example. I mean, if you had showed me that clip and then showed me some of your other clips, I wouldn't have believed they were the same player.
Yeah.
And that's not because your mechanics are inconsistent. It's because that just mashing down the mouse one button will sometimes lead to really bad results. Okay. We could look closely at healing station usage. We could look closer at your visors, but I think they've been okay for now. Let's just keep going. Now, defense positioning is a lot easier. So let's see how you do when you don't have the space. So far, so good. So far, so good. Wow, look at that Helix. Who would have thought? Yeah. You actually had it in you, you know? Keep shooting. Nice. Another Helix. Look at you. Now she's off to the high ground. I don't know. Maybe you guys just swap PCs with somebody, I think. No, it's definitely you.
Yep.
It's definitely you. What's the problem here, right? Hard to hit target. What is it?
Doesn't have cover, so I should use Helix.
Well, you don't have Helix.
Oh, I don't have Helix. I'm mashing down M1.
You're mashing down M1. You can kind of see like literally how close your crosshair is. You're even getting a little bit of spread RNG, right? So, but it's just you're mashing down the button. So of course it's gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just need to give yourself a chance, you know, to actually use the mechanics that you have.
Yeah.
And even the Helix comes very, very late and is not aimed well, right? So, like, are you the reason that your team lost this fight? Absolutely not. I think you actually played this fight at the start initially well, but you could still see those bad habits that are going to cost you games. Good. Yes. Holy mackerel. Finally. Nice job.
I don't know. It seems like I'm much more confident with Helixes on Bastions because they're just huge.
Yeah. You know, when we talked about your warm-up, right? You're going to realize that to win any 1v1, really, you got to have to use Helix.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the deathmatch thing might be actually kind of useful for you to get those Helix mechanics down, whether it's a Tracer 1v1, an Ana 1v1, anything, right? Yeah, let's see what we got. I'm going to be honest with you. Your team is hyper-feeding.
Really?
Yep. You're playing reasonably well. But you know what? You're still making mistakes. And you cost your team numerous fights on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what you're going to learn is you're going to see fights like this and you're like, bro, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm actually playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But then your teammates were saying the exact same thing 9 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Right? So that's just the nature of things, right? The nature of things is for you, like in those moments where you feel like you're playing well, is to still find things to continue to work on, and just disregard the result.
Mm-hmm.
He tried really hard.
Yep.
Oh no! Oh no, bro! There's no way. Now, here's what I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you necessarily needed to run, given the cover that you had. I think you're probably fine as is. That being said, this is... I don't even know, bro.
Yeah, I was just as confused. Try and visor off of it.
I understand. I understand. It worked! There's no way. All right, great positioning here. Again with a Helix, right? Mm-hmm. Where's her cover?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. Open with it. Open with Helix. The other nice thing about Helix as well is it's like a budget Bastion grenade where it's going to bump them up in the air, which is going to make them easier to track because they're going to move slower.
Mm-hmm. So
it's a little detail there. But yeah, that's painful to watch. Nice. Good. I like the repositioning here. I'm telling you, your positioning is good. Like like it is by far your best point. The high ground, the off angles, the range. The only thing I said was like maybe the range could be a little bit further, more consistently, but like you do a really nice job. Like this, for example, right now. I know you're thinking like flank angle, but like this just feels like, oh, if that's the, you know, you can see it, right? Probably better to just kind of stay here and look for an opportunity to rotate later on, right? But really, truly, nice job. Nice job. Kind of weird to use healing station and then run away from it. I know you were doing it for your Cassidy, but you know, you might want your healing station soon enough. Is now a good time to push?
Probably not. I'd have to guess.
Yes, it was.
Okay.
But you didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
You didn't check your team's position before you pushed. So that's the important thing. When you're doing all these fancy schmancy angles, the reason why it's important to check your team's positioning is you never have to check your team's positioning if you're playing inside of your own team, right? Because you're always going to be good. But you need to take angles because angles are powerful. But if you take angles, there's always the risk that you go in by yourself. So you need to take preventative measures. So this is good, but it's good by accident. And that's what we hate to see. And the irony here is that like, you should keep going. I don't know why you're rotating away. No cover, so you open with Helix. Looks good. Drop your heal station, mate. Drop your heal station. Just keep shooting. This fight's starting. Use the heal station. Stop playing ping pong here, you know? Interesting. Trigger discipline, right? Yep. I don't even know that I'd necessarily shoot at Valkyrie Mercy. I mean, maybe she's flying out in the open, but yeah. Woo! Get her. That's what you know what you do there? That's what you visor. Nice. Now heal station go. Heal station go. You can even do that heal station visor animation cancel, right? You clear him out or kill him and then go visor Dishonor down here, right?
Yeah.
Ah, that's it right there. Let's go. Let's go. Woo! Love it. Nice, mate. Nicely done. Watch your clip control. I know it's a tank, but where are my headshots? Why are you tracking the floor on him? Right?
Yeah.
It's even with tanks, it's something to practice. Nice. Take the high ground. Take it, take it. Watch this. Did you know that was there? Yeah. It's all right. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Disaster. Keep going. Surely we win this. Yeah, you win this. Yeah, we're good. Good time?
I certainly hope so.
That's a good. Let's give you a little bit of context here, because I skipped ahead. You see what you see, right? Hear what you hear. Oops.
So I think I based this off of the Zarya.
Yeah.
And
it's okay to me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, should be okay. I mean, the Zarya has backed off a little bit, but I think you're okay. Nice. Oh. Thank you, Lifeweaver. Thank you for ruining my angle. I mean, at least you got some high ground out of it. Nice Helix. Don't stay here, right? So as soon as you get healed up, now you go back, right? Yeah, see? It's good. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with your overall playstyle. So here are my takeaways from this. There are some obvious mechanical problems with your clip discipline. There's obvious problems with how you're using Helix. There are obvious problems with how close you're getting to your flanks and how you're not always checking your team when you're pushing these flanks, right? Yeah. Like, for example, this flank is bad. It's just too close. I think in this situation here, you just hold the angle here and just do damage. I don't see any reason to flank all the way around behind just to get checked by a Lucio, right? This feels way too close. Like, as you can see, like that character will actually beat you in a 1v1 up close, right? Yeah. But I'm not seeing... I mean, unless this is just like the best game that you've ever played, this doesn't look silver to me.
This is definitely not my best game. I've had better.
Okay. So here's what I'm concerned about. I'm gonna make a prediction here, and I might be totally wrong, but I would be curious. Do you get tilted during ranked?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's why I put down mentality.
All right, because were you tilted this game?
I got like a little frustrated. Like when the Junkrat killed me on the bridge, like double comp mine just killed me. That was annoying. And then I looked at my skills and I realized I didn't use anything. So it like annoyed me even more.
Yep. I don't know. I'd be curious to know if this is something that, like, you know, your play is inconsistent. Because if I see games like this and you're even just at your current skill level, I could see you could make gold with this. If you're building. But the reason I ask if you get tilted is if you get tilted, you're not playing like this.
Yeah.
Right? And so you're not as good as you think you are, because when you get frustrated, you play a lot worse.
Yeah. I would have gotten a better code, but I just...
It was fine. It was a competitive game. It doesn't matter. It's fine. there were enough mistakes that I can see, about your things. But I guess that's my warning to you as we talk about like your mentality when it comes to ranked and focusing on yourself is you don't deserve to be gold as if you mental boom if things don't go well, right? Because it's a shame though, because there's a lot of things that you're doing really well that you're probably sabotaging just with your mentality, right? So
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions? We'll write up some notes in a second if not.
No, I don't really think so.
Okay. Okay. Let's write up some goals here then. Soldier. What needs to be practiced? What did we talk about?
Helix usage.
Helix usage? With what about the Helix usage? Number one, just use it more, but also
use it quicker when there's like no cover.
Use quicker.
Use it quicker.
Cover. Don't need for finisher. And when finishing, use it sooner. 120 damage. Because like even for example, like the Mercy res, right? Why wait till she's 67 HP to Helix? Right? She's standing perfectly still. Yeah. Use it, a full second earlier. Okay, what else?
Off angles I need to manage my range better.
Be better range managed. Okay, what else?
Trigger discipline.
Trigger discipline. Don't just mash M1.
Yes.
Okay, and then also timing of angles. Check. Teams position. That's mostly it, right? I think you're doing a lot of things really well. Mechanics look good. Really like your positioning overall. Visors look good. For you, it's going to be about that mentality. And not just no mental boom, but I'm going to get frustrated, of course. But I'm going to try to focus on one of these 4 things.
Okay.
And treat myself as if I'm just doing a drill.
Yeah.
We talked about that, right? You're just doing a drill. This is my Helix usage drill, this ranked game, right? Because it doesn't matter. You could go 0-15, 0-20, and it wouldn't matter. You could get it right back again. Nothing is permanent. There are not a limited amount of games that you play, like that do as much as you like.
Yes.
So don't treat it any different or any special at all. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Good luck.